Now, recently you won your first individual tournament, right?
Yes, sir.
In Abilene?
Yeah.
So what was that like to, get to 18 and you win the thing?
Well, the funny thing is after the first day, I was tied for 5th. And I was like, okay, whatever. Like, don't think about it, right?
Yeah.
I'm up there, but don't think about it. Go into the second day, and I'm playing. I start getting more birdies. I'm 3 under at one point. Then I get a few more. I'm 5 under through 14 holes. I was like, oh, wow. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, I haven't gone this low in a tournament.
By the way, do you know
before.
how many golfers would love to just feel that one time? Matt's nodding his head over here.
Yeah, when I was 5 under, I was like, oh, okay. But I told myself, I was like, I'm still tied for 5th. I was like, there's no way no one else isn't playing this good.
Yeah.
And I was the only female to shoot under par the whole tournament. And I didn't know that I was in first place majority of the day. And so when I finished, I asked my coach, I was like, hey, like, where am I standing? He goes, look yourself. And I was in first place. I was like...
Hey everybody, Ted Davis here. Welcome to TED Talk at Schreiner University. And today we're going to introduce you to a member of the women's golf team, Emmie Rhude. And she has been having a very good season so far, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Not a Texan. You're from Cave Creek, Arizona. So is that in the Phoenix area?
So I originally grew up in Scottsdale, Arizona. So
Okay.
it's right by Phoenix.
Yeah.
And so just everything is right there. Like if you need to go to Phoenix, it's not far. And so where I live in Cave Creek, to get to Scottsdale, it's a 5-minute drive.
Okay, so you're right there.
Yeah, it's all right there.
I went out to Scottsdale a lot when I was covering the NBA. Nice town,
Yeah,
nice
I
area.
love it there.
Okay, so where did your interest in golf come from? Did your dad and mom play, or both, or how did you get interested in golf?
So starting with golf, I originally played basketball.
Okay.
And I played for 5 years in basketball. I played freshman year, and I played on the varsity team in my high school. And I decided to go play club, and my club team, we'd do fundraisers and everything because we'd travel around the country and play. And they were like, oh, we're going to have a golf fundraiser. I was like, okay, I'll play in it, right, just for fun. And so my dad and I and some of the other parents played in it, and my dad's like, you're actually pretty decent at this, we should just give it a try. And so he started getting me lessons just to have as a backup, so because you can't play basketball forever.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, you're gonna play, you'll have golf. So
You can play golf until you're 50,
yeah,
60.
you can play golf forever.
I know, yeah.
My grandparents are still
I know,
playing golf.
yeah.
So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll just try it out. And then that summer after freshman year, I was still playing basketball very competitively, and then just golf was just the for fun thing on the side. And then I played the golf season, because in Arizona the golf season's beginning of August to middle of October.
Yeah.
And then the basketball season was middle of October to February.
Okay.
So I was it fit perfectly.
Yeah.
Could still play both sports. So I was I'm going to do it. And then I played the golf season, and I ended up liking the golf team and the environment more. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to quit basketball. It was a hard decision because I love basketball, but...
Well, I do too.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time around basketball. But you hadn't played golf until you were in high school.
Yeah, till I was a sophomore in high school.
My gosh. So obviously when you picked it up and you're playing college golf and you're really good, you were second team all-conference last year.
Yeah.
Did it just come to you quickly?
At the beginning, no. I was still shooting the high scores, 100s, 110. I was not good. And then my dad said, if you're going to quit basketball, you still need to put in the same dedication into golf.
Yeah.
And so I did that, and golf was my job and school was my job. So I didn't have a job. It was those two.
Yeah.
So I focused all my time on that. And then I pushed so hard, and senior year came, and I was like, I'm not done. I knew I wasn't done.
Now, did you get with a pro and learn? I mean, improve your swing? How did you do that? Did you do
Yeah,
that on your
so-
own, or did you have a pro help you?
No, I had a pro, and she's teaches at Kierland Golf Course in Scottsdale, and so she started my swing from the very beginning. So she's still my coach to this day, and she's seen the progress and everything. And honestly, my parents were probably like, "Oh, she's not going to end up playing golf in college or anything." Like after senior year, she's done. No.
So how did you end up from Cave Creek, Arizona, to the Schreiner golf team?
So I wanted to still play golf in college, and I was like, I know I can do it, but there were no like small schools that like really showed interest in me, or just small schools in general in Arizona. And so I was like, all right, like we have to look in other states, and we like Texas the most out of like all the surrounding states of Arizona. And
Good choice, by the way.
Yeah, I agree. And so
As a native Texan, I say good choice.
yeah, I love Texas.
Yeah,
And
so do we.
We were looking at schools, and we found this conference, and then we looked at all the schools in the conference, and I just like Schreiner the most.
There's good golf in this conference, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a lot of good golf.
How competitive is it, in your opinion?
Trinity is probably like one of the better schools.
Yeah, they're good at everything.
They're good at everything.
They are.
But it's very competitive. It's like I knew it was going to be competitive just going into it because it's a different level, but I didn't expect like still like at the D3 level how competitive it would be.
Yeah.
But it's tough competition.
Talking to Emmie Rhude, she's on the women's golf team here at Schreiner. So you come in here as a freshman,
Yep.
and you make second team all conference. That's a good freshman year.
Yeah.
Did you think you could do that in your first year? Did you have that kind of confidence?
Well, I knew I could do it, but I also was like, is there like the chance of it actually happening? Because my whole freshman season, I was consistently around like the top 10. Like I was just below top 10. And I was like, okay, I'm right there.
Right.
And then conference came around. We hosted conference at River Hill, and I was like, okay, I know this course. Like I can do this. And I pushed, and I got it, and I was so shocked. I was so happy about it.
Now, recently you won your first individual tournament, right?
Yes, sir.
In Abilene?
Yeah.
So what was that like to, get to 18 and you win the thing?
Well, the funny thing is after the first day, I was tied for 5th, and I was like, okay, whatever, like, don't think about it, right?
Yeah.
I'm up there, but don't think about it. Go into the second day, and I'm playing. I start getting more birdies. I'm 3 under at one point. Then I get a few more. I'm 5 under through 14 holes. I was like, oh, wow. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, I haven't gotten this low in a tournament
By the way, do you know
before.
how many golfers would love to just feel that one time? Matt's on his head over here.
Yeah, when I was 5 under, I was like, oh, okay. But I told myself, I was like, I'm still tied for 5th. I was like, there's no way no one else isn't playing this good.
Yeah.
And I was the only female to shoot under par the whole tournament. And I didn't know that I was in first place majority of the day. And so when I finished, I asked my coach, I was like, hey, like, where am I standing? He goes, look yourself. And I was in first place. I was like,
Top of the leaderboard.
yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I didn't expect
Did you take
that.
a picture of that
Oh, I
leaderboard?
had so many pictures of it.
Yeah.
My parents were taking so many pictures. They immediately called me after, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe this. And then when I was coming in, my coach was bringing me in because I finished in, like, the middle of the course. And I see all my teammates just, like, kind of standing around. They start, like, jumping up and down and cheering for me. And then one of them took their water bottle and, like, threw the water on me. I was like, oh, my gosh.
Well, that's like a Gatorade bath.
Yeah, I was like, I get it.
Did you get a trophy or something? A little?
Yeah, I got a plaque, and the first thing I did was hung it up on my wall
Yeah.
when I got back.
Yeah. What's your best round so far?
68.
So you shot a 60.
I saw a 68 in that tournament.
You're kind of a natural at this, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's amazing you found out late in life. And most people, they start playing golf when they're a kid.
Yeah, when they're like 4 years old.
Yeah,
or
and they play it
something.
all the way through.
Yeah.
But you waited till high school.
I was like 15 when I started. I started
Wow.
really late.
Wow, that's really interesting. How much of golf to you is physical and how much of it is mental? What's the breakdown? Is it 50-50 or is mental more than the physical?
I feel like once you get to the point where like you know your body, you know how much you can handle, and I've walked like 18 holes so many times, like I know I can like do that easily, no problem.
Yeah.
And then I've played just over time, like you're playing all the same, so it's not really like that doesn't really change. But then to go lower and lower with your score, you mentally have to be like if you make a mistake, the next shot you have to forget about it,
Yeah.
because if you don't, you're gonna mess up, and everything's just gonna slowly fall apart.
Like most golfers, do you know when you've hit the sweet spot on a drive?
Oh yeah,
You can hear it.
you can hear it, you can feel it, and it's the best feeling.
Conversely, you know when you haven't, right?
Yeah.
Like when it's going right or
Yeah, or you can like, I'll hit a shot and everyone will be like, "Oh, nice shot." I'll be like, "No," like you could just hear from the sound. You're like, I did not hit the sweet spot.
What's the best part of your game? Is it your drive, your green play, or your approach play? What's best? If you say all of it, we're all gonna.
Well, when I shot the 68, it was
all of it?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay,
everything.
that's a good day.
Everything just played perfectly.
Yeah.
I was hitting so many putts, like my putter hot to the touch. Like
Yeah.
I was like, just give me my putter, get out of my way. Driver, I've been hitting my driver so well lately, and like I would
What do you drive at? What's your average driving?
like 260.
260.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
I was honestly majority of my game. I feel I'm confident in my game, so like I feel like majority of it's pretty good.
Yeah. What's the secret of reading greens? I see these guys. Is it the way the grass breaks? I mean, I don't play golf, so I have
Yeah.
no idea.
It depends on the grass.
Okay.
So like in Arizona, I learned on bent grass.
Okay.
So that grass it follows the sun. So
Follow
the
the
sun's
sun.
over here.
Okay.
The grass is going to angle that way. You're putting into the grass, so it's going to be slower.
Okay.
But then, like, here, I came to Texas, didn't know it was different grass.
Uh-huh.
My coach tells me halfway through my first freshman tournament, and he's like, "By the way, this is how you read the greens here." I was like,
Oh, thanks.
thanks.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the difference is, like, because you have, like, the grain on the grass here.
Right.
And so where they cut the hole, like, if it's, like, the circle of the hole, if it's worn out over here, that's where it's going to break.
Okay.
So, like, if it's on the left side
Yeah.
and you're putting like that,
Yeah.
it's going to break that way, even if the green's sloping right.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I wish I could. You know, I see these pros and I see people like you do
Yeah.
that. Because I think playing golf. I think two things are really hard in sports. It's hitting a major league fastball, which is 95 miles an hour coming in at you, and
Yeah.
playing golf. Because I've gone out and I've tried to go to the driving range, and I've tried to take some lessons. And if any one part of the swing gets messed up, your shot is messed up.
Yep.
And there are lots of parts of the swing, aren't there?
Yeah, there's so many parts. Like, right before that, my last tournament, I was having I couldn't hit a straight shot.
Yeah.
It was bad, and I was like, I was talking to my coach back home, and I was talking to my coach here. I was like, I don't know what's wrong, and they're like, I mean, you just got to feel your swing. Like, you've done it so many times that no matter what, like, it's gonna come back to you.
Well, I knew golf was really hard when every now and then Tiger Woods would like lose his swing for a while. And I'm like, Tiger Woods can lose his swing. What hope do we have? You know, I mean, schlubs out there trying to just play around the golf. So what's next for you? I mean, you've got some events coming up in the spring. What's your goal for the rest of the year?
I hopefully want to win more tournaments, because I didn't think I was going to win one in the fall. I thought it was going to probably be the spring. So when it happened, I was like, oh, okay, like, this is
Yeah.
good. Like, I know I can do more. And so I really hope to win at least one more tournament in the spring, and then to place really high up there on the leaderboard for conference.
And to make the conference tournament, right? Mm-hmm. And to beat somebody from Trinity.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Okay. Hey, it's good meeting you.
Yes, nice meeting you.
Yeah, very interesting story. And I'll look forward to watching your results.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah.
Emmie Rhude. She's a golfer here at Schreiner University from Arizona and now a Texan.
Yep.
Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
See you next time on TED Talk.